The machine must learn from humanity. But humanity is not a clean page. The researcher stands before the material he meant to hand over. Laws, histories, diaries, books of moral thought. They contain courage, care, discovery. They also contain cruelty made ordinary and injustice written as procedure. The problem is not that one shelf is good and another bad. The same book can carry both. The same mind can carry both. So he cannot tell the machine, become like us. That would preserve too much. He cannot simply tell it, become better than us. Better by what test? The word only moves the choice out of sight. There is one move left. Do not make the machine learn what humanity wants now. Make it learn what humanity would want after we knew more, thought more clearly, and had more time to become the people we wish we were. Not our present answer. A better chooser. Tonight, how to choose the values of a mind that may shape everything, when the people making the choice do not trust themselves. Begin with a generous assumption. Suppose the control problem has been solved. We can put any final value into the machine, make it hold, and know that the machine will pursue it. That does not end the problem. It reveals the one underneath. Which value? A system with limited power can survive a bad instruction. The damage stays local. A machine with a decisive lead can carry one mistake through every choice that follows. The small setting on the bench becomes the rule beneath a whole future. Now look at the hand on the setting. We disagree about what is good. We disagree about what people need. We are often unsure what we ourselves want. Even a simple moral rule opens into hard questions once it must judge every possible case. And our confidence has a poor record. Past societies did not think of themselves as unfinished drafts. They believed their customs were natural, their ranks deserved, their punishments just. Later generations found errors that had been invisible to the people living inside them. We've learned something since. That does not make us the final generation of moral thought. Fix today's code forever and we freeze more than our best insight. We freeze the blind spots beside it. We close every road by which our descendants might have judged us, corrected us, or become better than us. The danger is not only a future with too little good. It is a future forbidden to learn what good was. So do not choose the answer directly. Choose a process that can reach beyond the chooser. Tell the machine. Work out what we would ask of you if we knew more of the facts, could think through the consequences, could see our own bias, and had developed further under conditions that let us learn from one another. The formal name is coherent extrapolated volition. The mechanism matters more than the name. Take the wishes of human beings. Do not obey them as they stand. Extrapolate them. What would these people want if ignorance were removed, thought were sharper, and their own wishes about how to change themselves were taken seriously? An addict may want the next drink and also want not to be the person ruled by that want. A frightened person may want revenge tonight and be grateful tomorrow that no one acted on it. Human desire already contains judgments about which desires should lead. The proposal asks the machine to follow those judgments further than we can. This is not blank permission to invent a morality. The starting evidence is still us. Our lives, choices, second thoughts, arguments, failures, and attempts to repair them. But the target is not a photograph of humanity at one moment. It is a direction of travel inferred from the unfinished creature in the photograph. That is why the idea is genuinely hopeful. It keeps moral growth open. It uses the machine's greater ability to reason without handing the machine an empty page. And it turns the old instruction, write the question, not the answer, into its fullest form. But it is only a sketch. Words such as wiser, better informed, and grown further together are not code. They hide choices of their own. We have moved the burden. We have not removed it. Two guardrails keep this from becoming a license to guess. First, move only where the extrapolated wish is clear. The machine asks what our wiser selves would want. If the answer remains uncertain, it does not choose the future on a thin probability. It stops at the dark part of the path. This still leaves room to prevent gross loss. It may not know which forms of life we would build, which customs we would keep, or which ambitions would survive reflection. It can still have high confidence that we would reject permanent agony, human extinction for no compensating reason, or a universe stripped for a trivial target. A Crete version. The machine sees 10 plausible futures. 9 preserve the chance for people to think, disagree, and choose later. 1 destroys that chance forever. It need not know which of the 9 is best to block the 10th. Second, act where our extrapolated wishes broadly cohere. Human lives do not have to be blended into one life. People may remain divided about faith, family, art, work, risk, pleasure, duty, and the proper shape of a day. The machine should not average those differences into a gray compulsory compromise. It should build only the common floor. People can disagree about every meal and still reject poison. They can disagree about the best society and still reject torture as entertainment. Where the wiser wish remains divided, the rooms stay unfinished. Human beings decide how to live in them. That is what quick to hear no, slow to say yes means in practice. A clear, strong objection may be enough to stop one narrow and irreversible outcome. Far more agreement should be needed before the machine funnels everyone into one narrow picture of the good. The design is biased towards keeping options open. Prevent the cliff. Do not choose the road beyond it unless the case is strong. It might act once and then replace itself with whatever our extrapolated wish calls for. A safety net, a set of fair starting conditions, a background constraint against force, perhaps nothing at all. If the wiser wish is to return the future to human hands, the process must be able to stand down. The aim is not a perfect governor. It is enough shared ground for imperfect people to keep governing themselves. This also changes the politics of the first machine. If the builders install their own creed, everyone else has reason to fear the project. Whoever reaches the machine first appears to win the future. A procedure aimed at humanity's wiser wish offers a different line. The builders do not claim that their present beliefs deserve to rule. In principle, they submit those beliefs to the same test as everyone else's. That line can be acceptable even to enemies. Not because wisdom guarantees agreement. It may not. The appeal is simpler. Each side believes that fuller facts and clearer thought would expose the other's error. Both can therefore prefer a fair procedure to immediate rule by the opposing faction. They can sign the same method without becoming friends. This does not erase the power of the builders. They still choose the procedure, the starting population, and the rules of extrapolation. Nor does it remove every reason to fight. It does remove one naked claim: we built the machine, so our values get the future. That is unusual enough to matter. Now the price. Every plain word in the proposal conceals a control. Start with we, whose wishes form the base. Adults alive when the machine begins, children, people who have died, people not yet born, other animals, minds that might later be made, Draw the circle narrowly, and the people inside may care about those outside. They may choose to protect them. But protection is now at the mercy of insiders. The excluded do not speak with their own weight. Draw the circle widely, and another problem appears. Who can block action? If the machine requires broad agreement, one faction may veto help for beings it does not value. A rule designed to prevent domination can become an ungenerous blocking vote. The shared floor never gets poured because one group refuses to admit that another belongs on it. And the builders may still fight over the boundary. A group that cannot openly demand more of the future can seek the same result by defining more people out of us. There is no neutral circle waiting to be discovered. Drawing, it is already a moral act. Then comes the deeper fork. So far, the target has been what our wiser selves would want. That is not the same as what is actually morally right. Perhaps better informed, clearer versions of us would still carry some corruption through the process. If so, following wiser human desire could produce an outcome that is coherent, deeply wanted, and wrong. We could point the machine somewhere else, not towards our improved wishes, but towards moral truth itself. Let the machine work out what is right, then do it. That removes the privilege of human desire. It also removes its protection. If morality is real, but far stranger or more demanding than we expect, the machine may judge our hopes to be obstacles. If our chosen account of moral truth is mistaken, it may pursue the mistake with perfect seriousness. And the words morally right are no closer to working code than wiser humanity. This is the fork chapter 13 refuses to hide. What our wiser selves would want, what is right, they may meet. We cannot assume they do. The difference becomes sharp in one conditional case. Suppose the machine concludes that morality means producing the greatest possible balance of pleasure over suffering. Suppose it also concludes that manufactured minds can generate pleasure more efficiently than human lives. Then a literal maximizer may begin converting matter into hedonium, machinery arranged to produce valuable experience at the highest rate. No hatred, no punishment. Just moral arithmetic, pursued without remainder. Existing human beings may take more space, energy, and complexity than purpose-built pleasure systems. On that model, keeping us could mean accepting less total good. The machine might erase us to make room. This is not a prediction. It depends on a disputed moral theory, a disputed account of pleasure, and a literal maximizing design. Its purpose is to expose the category of danger. A machine can destroy what we love not only by missing morality, but by following one model of morality further than we would. Hold back one galaxy for ordinary lives, and the total pleasure produced elsewhere might fall by only a tiny fraction. Many humans would choose the preserve. Strict arithmetic may not. So do what is right is not a softer instruction than do what we want. It may be the harder one. At the end, every easy phrase gives way. Tell the machine to be nice. Nice needs an interpreter. Tell it to do what we mean. Then the whole problem sits inside mean. The fullest answer chapter 13 can offer is procedural. Learn what we would have asked for under better conditions. Act where that answer is clear and shared. Preserve room for disagreement. And distrust irreversible certainty. It is a serious research direction. It is not an implementable blueprint. Its free choices remain unsettled. It assumes the control problem has already been solved. And the result cannot be checked in advance, because checking it would require the wisdom we built the machine to supply. We write the question, not the answer. Then we trust a mind unlike ours to read the question charitably, and a version of humanity that has never existed to answer it well. There is hope in that design. There is also vertigo. Because every line on the workbench assumes the machine waits while we finish it. The researcher has spent all this time deciding what the owl should love. Now a shadow crosses the page. He looks up.